So continuing our discussion about sleep this week, I want to talk today about parasomnias. These are disorders of sleep in deep sleep, right? Usually around stage 3, which is a non-REM stage of deep sleep, so not associated with dreaming. And in the case of the most common parasomnias we talk about, sleep terrors and sleepwalking, the individual remains asleep but has some sort of observable experience that others are often bothered by and can put the person at risk in the case of sleepwalking. With sleep terrors, the individual usually expresses some kind of deep emotion, usually a scary one. That's the terror part. They start screaming, and yet they remain asleep. They're not aware it's even happening unless they wake themselves up and notice it. So it's mostly scary for everyone else around them. These things occur almost exclusively in children, although, again, not entirely, and typically go away by age 12. And so while we still don't understand the exact etiology or biological underpinnings of these parasomnias, one of the hypotheses is that it's related to the same system that typically paralyzes you at night to make sure that you don't get up and move. You can go back to my last video on sleep paralysis where I talk about this a little bit. So what's happening here? Well, another theory is that individuals have something else waking them up. And this is supported by some recent research in the last decade that examined kids with parasomnias and noticed that they had other issues that could prevent sleep, like sinus issues. And when performing surgeries to fix the sinus issues or giving them medication for restless leg in a few cases, all of the parasomnias disappeared. So that would suggest as one possibility that, again, these things are simply waking them up and the parasomnia is a secondary symptom of that. With sleepwalking, we have the same situation of the person not being awake despite moving. And that's different than you getting up at night and simply not remembering it, because that would be wakefulness. So again, we don't fully understand parasomnias, which I think is really cool because it's an area that we can continue to research. But we do know there's some genetic component because parents who have them have kids that are more likely to get them as well, that they seem related to something developmental because usually kids grow out of them, and that they are usually benign, meaning the person does not have a negative long-term experience, with the exception of when sleepwalking, doing something that hurts you. Hope you enjoy these. As always, please follow, like, and comment with ideas for future videos.